Yeah, bring
Listen up, cool. All right. Well, I want to first of all thank everybody for being here. Everybody that's here is really special to me personally. You guys are all wonderful people, and I can't tell you, this is obviously an important time in my life, and to have all of you guys a part of it is just so freaking awesome. I would like to keep it short, so I'll skip the 3 stories that I had in mind.
Save those for the next halftime
speech. But what I would like to do is make sure that everybody knows who everybody is in the wedding and all of that. So I'm going to tell you who my groomsmen are. And I'll start out with my ushers. I've got Mitch Robertson here. Why don't you stand up? Stand up, Mitch.
Mitch for president.
Mark Hool. Who else is in that? Mark Zeitz. Dave Morton. Oh, okay. I should say how I know. I'm sorry. You got to tell me that before. All right. Yeah. All right. What? Yeah, I am. I'm wired for sound. Okay. So I know Mitch from playing hockey. He started playing hockey with Antoinette first, and they were both.
Mitch is really my friend.
Got to hit you in front of all of these people. So I used to videotape Antoinette playing hockey when she first started. She was playing with Mitch, and they both stunk so bad that I realized I had to go in and help them. So that's how I know Mitch. And ever since then, Mitch has helped me repeatedly with just about anything I've ever asked him for, which is, I know it's a lot. Shut up. I know. My other usher, Mark Hool, he's always at my beck and call for everything. I met him also, technically I met him as the sports editor of the Californian. He called one day and he was inquiring about, in a nice way for once, as a reader about how things got in the paper. Normally people complain and say, why did you put this in the paper? You're so biased. I hate you. Stuff like that. He called. He just wanted information, and I gave it to him. It was a great conversation, and whatever. It's cool. Very different than the jail mail that I get sometimes. You look really cute in your column picture. I have those. They're still hanging up.
Can you get me out of prison?
I'll be waiting. And then a couple months later, he was put on my team, and I didn't know who he was, and everybody told me, you're going to love this guy. He's great at hockey, and they were right. And it wasn't because he was great at hockey. He's a great guy. Hey, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. No, Mark has been a great person, and this is his wife, Marianne, and she's been terrific too, and more examples of how blessed I am. Mark Zeitz is this guy that showed up from Minnesota 4 years ago, and he was also playing hockey, and I thought, gee, he can't play. And the guy, no, the guy kept scoring goals, and then after that, even though he was still sort of like the new guy, he was bold enough to start his own team, and he said, we could start our own team together. And I thought, I should be that bold, but geez, I've played here 15 seasons, and I still don't want to do it. But I did it. I jumped ship with Mark, and we started our own team, and we won championships together. And again, Mark, oh God, it's always there, And sometimes there's trouble on the court, and Zeitz is always the guy that he jumps right in there. Yeah, or starts it. Or starts it, because you know I don't, of course, right? Which brings me to Dave. Because anything that Zeit starts or that I'm involved in, he's going to clean up. And, Dave has always been one of those guys that, he's like everybody's perfect wingman. He's always there and personable and friendly and all that stuff. And today he's bald, and I don't really understand that. But I can't control that anymore because he moved away. But when he was on the team, I had control of everything. Not really. So that's Dave, and now he lives in San Francisco. Mark moved away. He's in Minnesota. And the ushers are still here. You'll see that there's a running theme with the hockey thing. My brother, Danny Delgado, he's my youngest brother. Hey, Danny. Started playing hockey with Danny when I was, I was about 10 and he was 3. And I kicked his ass all the way up until he outgrew me, which was when he was about 14. I still kicked his ass anyway, just for good measure. But we played hockey, and Danny's always been there, and he knows how much I love him, and I'm glad that he's finally here in California. Danny Delgado. Mike Nemeth. Whoa. That was Mike. I've known Mike for about 11 years. About 11 years or so. I hired Mike out of college at a newspaper that I was working at in Florida, and I haven't shaken him ever since. I keep turning the wheel right, and he's right in there. No, I make sure to bring Mike with me wherever I go. Mike is so much fun, and he's just always there, and here he is still. And we've had a lot of good adventures together, and every now and then we try to convince Mike to play hockey, and he does for a little bit, and then he fakes an injury. Yeah. And then he'll ask me to ice something, and I really don't want to.
It really hurts, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little light.
Stop it. and that's Mike.
Over here. I'm Jameson. I'm watching this.
I know you were supposed to see. Don't move on me, man. I thought I had you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you out over there.
Well, it's really easy, apparently.
Yeah. You'd think you'd catch that glare.
Yeah. Well, you've got a little bit of peach fuzz there now.
Flashing you over here, trying to send signals.
Jamie and I don't really technically have a hockey history in any way, shape, or form, except until he shaved his head. And then he
There's
put on
a hockey connection, right?
right, and then he put on the cool specs, and all of a sudden he looks like one of the greatest players to ever play hockey. He looks like Mark Messier. So there he is. Jamie lives in San Diego, and Anjanette has always, from day one, always talked him up that he's like the greatest guy in the world, and I don't really understand it because she's talking to me. How can that be? That's Jamie Rieger. Is there anybody left? Oh, the man behind the camera. The mysterious man behind the camera. That would be Scott McDonald. Scotty, who I called, well, he likes to be called Scott because he's Mr. Ultra Professional guy. I had to work with him to be able to call him Scotty. He didn't like that, and then after a while I started calling him Smacky. Scotty worked for me. Also, I hired him out of college, and there was this. I didn't know much about the internet back then because it was all the way back in 1996. It had only been around for 6 years. I didn't know anything about email or anything, and he said, he was this guy that had a computer and he had built it or something, and he could defrag the hard drive. And I was just so stunned. You know how to use actual email? Oh. Right. So he gave me his email address,
Oh,
and
man.
we had a woman in the office. The office manager, her name was Donna Thomas, and I knew he didn't like her, and just like Mike didn't like her, and a bunch of people didn't like her. I thought she was great, but is she here? She's not here. Nah. Anyway, so he told me his email address one day, and I'm like, okay, I'll write this down. He goes, it's smackdonna at whatever.com. Like, whoa! You really hate her. I realized it was S for, it's like the abbreviations, McDonald's something, So that's why I call him Smacky. And then he's always lived like nearby, like right across the street from whatever newspaper we're working at. So I tend to stay up kind of late, and I drive down the streets, and I make sure he knows it. Smacky! and Scotty is my best man, and he is the perfect choice for it. Scotty is one of the few people that I almost worry about actually being able to hurt my feelings. So I hope you approve of this, but of course that's what I'm feeling. But outside I'm like, well, I don't care what you think. But then he'll give me that look like, I don't know about that. Yeah, whatever, you're stupid. And then I walk away. And that's my wedding party. Those are the groomsmen. Of course, there's also the stand-in today for the best man was Lewis, and Lewis is my mom's husband. And I've known Lewis for 10, 11 years, something like that. And 11 years, yes. And just another wonderful, great person. Another example of how I'm not Lou Gehrig. I'm not the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I think you can only say that when you have a disease. But I'm pretty freaking lucky, and there's just so many people here, and I'll tell you, when I had to go through my list of people to be my groomsmen, I was just like, oh man, what do I do? And just it was pretty tough, and so the party is probably bigger than some other ones as a result, and I still wish I could have gotten more in, and but what can you? So anyway, but you got to make some tough choices. So that's pretty much all of the men that have made me what I am. And then, of course, last and certainly not least, if I said it any other way, I think that I would be grounded, is my mother. My mom, who I don't know how, she still has it all together, because I know you might find it hard to believe, but growing up in New York, I wasn't the easiest kid to discipline, to control, to get a handle on, to understand. I was probably a little rough around the edges, and I probably aged her a lot faster than she would have preferred. But my mom is always, even at the moments where she should have hated me like you could hate no one, my mom was still always there in the end, and she's here now. So, Mom, I love you very much. And I think that's everybody that I wanted to talk about. Is that right, Regis? Where is she? We had a niece, but I think she went away.
No, I think she's around behind the pole.
Where? I have a niece?
Yeah, I think you do.
Are you my niece? Who are you? Who are you? What's your name? Alexa. Alexa is the daughter of Danny Delgado here. And it's so weird. Maybe some of you have siblings like this. It's so weird for me to have a brother that's that much younger than me. I was 7.5 years old when my mom walked out of the hospital with this baby, and of course, he can't remember this, but I just remember, going with my father to pick up my mother and Danny out of the hospital, and I had never seen like a fresh baby before. I'd always seen. Well, I'll tell you. Fresh, but not right. I mean, I'd always seen like the nice Gerber baby, with this good skin on. And wow, you got a baby fresh out of the hospital, and it's all dark, and the skin's all rolled up, and I went, whoa, there's something wrong with that one. And I remember that really, really clearly. Well, I picture him two ways. But that never escapes me. And wow, I've talked a really long time. Yeah, I know, but it's not about me. And so I've seen Danny grow up. 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, so on. And I've seen how he's changed, and his face has changed and stuff like that. And now I see his daughter Alexa there, and to me, she's the spitting image of my little brother growing up, and it's just so weird. Just her hair's a little longer right about now. Why is that a bad thing to say? Well, and she does give me the evil eye that Danny still does. That's fine. Okay, you're a little prettier than your dad, okay? And that's Alexa, and she's going to be carrying the
Never mind.
the rings. She's the ring girl, and hopefully she doesn't, as she did today. What is she? What is she? The ring bearer. I don't know. Okay, so she's. You are so weird. You are just so weird.
I don't know why you never had a beard.
So she's going to be carrying the pillow with the rings and stuff like that, and hopefully she won't drop it on the floor like she did when it was an imaginary pillow today. Okay? Don't do that, or you're going to be in big trouble, sister. You got that? All right, and I think that's. Did I cover everybody?
I think you did. You gonna help me out?
Am I going to help you? What do I have to do? What's that? Do I open it?
No.
Oh.
You can pass it out. You can deliver for me.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so thank you for everybody that I've invited. Oh, wait. One more person who's not actually in the party, but who's here, who's helping me out at the reception. I haven't known him as long as some of the other people that I've mentioned, but a terrific guy nonetheless. Chris Horsley here. All right. When there's going to be trouble at the reception, we're all going to yell at Chris. We're gonna blame him for everything. No. I'm gonna weigh you down. Don't worry. So now I think that's everybody. DJ Chris Horsley. So who's never been a DJ and doesn't know anything about music, but that's my guy. So once again, as you can see, I've made a terrific choice in life. Okay, that's good. Thank you, everybody. Wait.
Are you going to talk now?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to switch.
Like your fiance.
This is what I get for hooking up with the Navy.
Navy man?
Joey's niece Alexa has been asking me which niece I knew first. And the first niece I knew is Nicole, who's trying her best not to ignore me. Or to ignore me. Nicole is my brother Jamie's daughter, and my sister-in-law Adriana, who's standing over in the corner. I've known Nicole for 13 years now, and she's growing into a very lovely young lady. And she's very glad I'm saying that. But I'm very happy to have her in my family, and she's my junior bridesmaid.
Should I do this for her?
You forgot to mention that she's a really tough hockey or soccer player.
She is. She's a goalie. So I'm trying to get her to switch over and play hockey and see if she can be our goalie, because we need a new goalie on the women's team. I'll teach her. Don't worry about that. And Nicole has a little sister that most days she's very happy to have, and every day I'm very happy to have, because she's my goddaughter. And that's Jamie's daughter, Jessica. And she is the flower girl at the wedding.
Oh, you've got cue cards?
They're not cue cards. And
How come I didn't get any?
I don't prepare you for these things.
I know.
And my baby sister has a baby, and that's Annika over there. So, she's having a birthday in a couple weeks when she'll turn 1. And speaking of my baby sister, Cassie is one of my matrons of honor. And when I was 2, Cassie was born. And I have a brother, as you all heard about, and my brother is 2 years older than I am. And my parents wanted a boy, and they got their boy. And they wanted a girl, and they got me. And then they wanted to stop, and they got Jessie.
Can you explain the dark hair?
She does like to check the mail a lot. But I will say that she's the happiest accident in my life, and I'm very glad to have a little sister, because I think I would be a different person today if I didn't have her around. And I have another matron of honor, and it was such a tough choice for me, because when I was 16, what was that awful birthday party where Mom surprised me? No, it was a great birthday party. When I was 15 or 16, my dad took a new job, and we moved, and he asked us before. My sister and I were at home, and my brother was in the Navy at the time, and he asked us if we wanted to move, and we both said, yeah, I think that would be a good move. And it turned out to be a really awesome move, because I have, she was my best friend in high school, and she's been a great friend of mine through my whole adult life. And I haven't seen her in 10 years, and I'm just so excited she's here today. Carrie. Yes. So when Joey and I moved here, Sierra. Way in,
Yeah, look at Leon.
it was late 99 and early 2000, and there was this girl, if you can picture this. She was the features editor at the paper, and she was across the newsroom, and she had really curly hair. And she was wearing this flowered dress that went down to the floor just about. And I'm like, who is that girl? And if you can all picture that, that's Sierra today. And that was 7.5 years
Almost
ago.
8. Really, almost 8.
Almost 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost 8 years
November.
ago. And
Yeah.
yeah, almost 8. And at the time, she had not had her 2 kids, so she's come a long way. She straightened the hair, had 2 kids, and along the way somehow become a very good friend of mine. So I'm really happy to have her in the wedding, even though she's moved away.
Hey, Joey, you got a good kid.
You're getting me in trouble.
And I mentioned that I have a sister and a brother, but
Natalie and Mark?
and I have 2 great friends, Natalie and Mark.
She pointed at you. I don't know.
Along the way, when I was still kind of figuring out how to be an adult, I met my future sister-in-law. And she's somebody that my brother met when he was in the Navy in California, and she kind of started the whole westward migration for us. And I'm very happy to have known her all these years, and I'm very happy to call her my sister-in-law because she's meant a lot to me and showed me what it means to really extend to your family beyond who you were born with, and to really be there for other people. So I'm very happy. Thank you. Stuck in water. So Joey forgot to mention when he was introducing Scotty, and I'm sure, Scotty, you felt like you were off the hot seat, but somehow Amber, I think, always brings you back onto the hot seat. But when Joey met Scotty, he was interviewing, and he was wearing his dad's suit.
No, not Joey.
No. Scotty was wearing his dad's suit.
Yeah, and Joey wasn't wearing Scotty's dad's suit either.
No, not then. Although this shirt.
Hey.
When we met Amber, it was when Scotty came out here to interview for the job, and he brought this woman with him, and we had never met her before, but we knew Scotty, and we knew he was a good guy, and we really wanted him to be close to us. And who was this woman he was bringing with him? And she had these big Jackie O sunglasses.
Oh my gosh!
And showed up, and
Never forget those.
he pulled her out of Ohio, and she was ready to take the West Coast by storm, I think. And she came out with him at the time, and that's been, as long as you've been here, has been
5 years.
5 years.
Wow.
5 years. And we've been through a lot since then, and now I think it's very safe to say, after 5 years, that it's not only because you're Scotty's girlfriend that we like you, but you've come
Or
to
despite it.
Or despite it. Which might be the case. We should talk about
Well,
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it might be the case.
We have different perspectives on life.
No, we've grown to really appreciate having you as a friend. And I say we because when I was deciding who should be my bridesmaids, Joey also raised a very big hand and said, Amber really needs to be in here with us. And I completely agree that she needs to be a part of this with us. So she's been a very good friend. Yeah. And teammate. To mention the hockey connection, Amber started playing, and she skated when she started playing with her head straight down and straight at people. So her nickname to this day is the Torpedo. And when Amber comes at you, you better watch out. She's half the size of most guys out there, but most guys end up leaving the game complaining about her.
I'm on the receiving end of those complaints, I know.
So that probably got the word spearhead.
Someone else that we met coming here is Christine. You'll never believe this, but you stand out for that first softball game that we played in together. The newspaper that we still work for, Christine had just started working for, and we decided to compete, the Californian versus the Herald, in a softball game. And Christine had just started working, and she was somebody that I hired to come and work at the paper. And who asked you to play? Do you remember? Did I? And you were probably, and you were like, okay, sure. We got out there and we got slaughtered. Every single game we got slaughtered, and it was a great experience because that's where we first, I think, spent time together outside of the office. And over the years, even though she recently moved to Texas, she's been one of my closest companions, and she's been there for a lot of my big moments over the years, and I'm happy to have you in this big moment. And there's someone else, actually, who has really, I was just saying to somebody earlier today that she was a good friend of mine, and I really think she's become a greater friend through the wedding process. She's trying to be a little bit shy right now, but Trisha Moneypenny, who's not the guy in the glasses, but the woman right next to him. And first I met her husband, Brian, playing on the hockey rink with us. Enough said. And Brian started bringing this woman with him to the games, and she would bring her two dogs, and they would watch his games, and we were like, oh, I think Brian has a girlfriend. Well, Brian has a wife, and now we have a very good friend in our lives through that. And now we invite Trisha, and we let Brian tag along. But Trisha is my personal attendant at the wedding. And we do have another bridesmaid who can't be here tonight, and some of you know her and some of you don't, but Christina Granados. And I think you should introduce Christina, even though she's not here.
Oh,
because Christina is Joey's friend more than mine. However, we do both know her, and we did both work with her at the paper.
Yeah. Well, Christina is somebody that I met at the paper when I first started. I think she was 18 or something, and she's a person who's very rambunctious and mischievous, and has always looked for some counseling from a slightly older guy. Just slightly. Not like it's 20 years or anything. And she moved away. I actually counseled her on some things about moving away and things like that. And of course, after talking to me, she did. Not sure what that says. But right now, she's kind of a jet setter. She's still in school, and I think she went to NYU for the summer, and that's why she hasn't been around. But she was really excited about the opportunity to be here and be a part of all of this. And I don't think that she gets in until tomorrow. Is that right? Right. And so she missed the rehearsal today, but she'll be a big part of everything, like she usually is, and she'll be very noticeable, like she usually is. She's a small. What'd you say? Dynamite comes in small packages. She's a lot like that. She's kind of small, it's going to be tough to avoid her. So help me. No, we're looking forward to seeing her, and when you see this on tape, don't hit me. I know. What can I do. That's Christina Granados. She'll be here.
A couple of special introductions tonight. Guy in the blue shirt, who's laughing. Hi, Scott. Scott and I met when I was 19, not 18. And I had fallen off my bike and gotten a concussion. And Scott was the reporter assigned to the story. And then I started working at the newspaper, and I've moved around a lot. He's moved around a lot, and we've always kept in touch, and we've always gotten together over the years. So I'm glad he has come out for the wedding. And then somebody who for at least the 2 years I was in high school in Findlay was my second mom. Carrie's mom, Barb, is here today, and I'm really happy to see her. And of course, my parents. I just don't even know where to start with my parents, but I think they went into
Easy.
child.
Easy.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What?
The waterworks. I can feel it
waterworks
coming. Yeah.
I think they went into childbearing and child rearing with some definite ideas in mind, and being educators, they put a lot of focus on the children they were raising and how to raise nice, fine young adults.
And despite Anjanette.
Yes, without saying too much about myself, I do think that that they did a really fine job and were great parents along the way, and taught me a couple of things. They were very much into positive thinking when I was a child, and so anything negative was stinking thinking, and you were not allowed to have that. And I still have those songs running through my head from those cassette tapes you guys had us listen to. So they raised me to be a positive person, and I hope I continue that. And they also raised me not to quit at things, and that if there's something going wrong, then you have the power to fix it. And I thank them for that, because they've given me a lot of the tools I needed to be an adult. So thank you. So I guess in closing, we want to thank you all for being here, and thank the pastor, Brown, and his wife for being a part of this wedding. I have just come to know them over the past spring, and I'm very happy to have gotten the opportunity to do that. They've been very special to me through this process, and as they've gotten to know Joey too, I think he's really come to appreciate their role in this moment in our life.
Who are
So
these
thank
people?
you for coming.
Are they going to be there?
Yes. They read your box and call and be nice.
Oh, that's right.
The 5 subscribers to the California. So thank you all for being here. And there will be some festivities tomorrow. And Joey?
Well, there's one other person that I wanted to acknowledge for being here. She actually just means, I hate that there's a moment where I have to say something like this about her, because she won't let me live it down now. But Natalie Hudson, the girl here who right now has her hair set up so that she looks like Mickey Mouse, or
You can't do that to her.
little Spock action going on with
No,
her.
you can't do that to her. That is just not
Oh,
nice.
you know, once I found out that she was sensitive about it, I had to hit her hard, and really hard in front of 40 people. So, but Natalie is someone that I've played hockey with, and I met her through Zeitz when Zeitz was trying to get to know her, and he's like she had a boyfriend, so he's like,
girlfriend.
Right, not that that mattered to him. But he's like, well, how can I get in? I'm gonna try this thing. I'm like, well, I don't know. Like we would instant message each other about how
you actually delivered the first flowers for me.
Yeah, we did.
Did I really?
We
At
did.
the hockey rink.
Wow.
After she broke up with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
I didn't think
So
that.
you're responsible.
Well, I did not think that Zeitz could land such a good fish, but I guess he did. And I've gotten to know Natalie outside of Mark. At first, I didn't, but since then I have. And this is 4 or 5 years, something like that. And we've hung out together and had some really great times. And Natalie is just another one of those really special people to me that I've known over the last few years. And I definitely wanted to make sure that we acknowledged her, and she had to be here, or I was going to have to go hunt her down. Okay, keep going.
Okay. So I have to introduce also the latest addition to my family.
Whoa, do I know about this?
We have to talk. My sister got married a couple of years back, and she married Sean, who is sitting right next to my father. And now I have a brother-in-law, and I'm really happy to have a brother-in-law, and it's good to have you in the family. So my brother-in-law, Sean.
Thank them, and that's it? That's what you said?
Thank you for that.
Well, because I like to repeat myself, I know you hate that about me, but everybody that's here, you guys have meant everything to me, and I'm a Beatles fan, and one thing that I had to learn the hard way growing up was, grew up the hard way in New York, fighting people and stuff like that, and Mom used to always tell me, you get more flies with sugar than salt. Or she would say, kill it with kindness. Like, whatever, I'm kicking this guy's ass. Or I'm running from those guys. And then when I get far enough away, I'm going to really yell at them. Why are you laughing so hard? You seem to know that.
I do. Joey kicking someone's ass.
I get it now. You and me later. We'll see. Baldy. But every time that it's kind of like every decade that has passed in my life. I can't believe I'm saying that, I'm so old. But I've tried to learn from my mistakes and realize how to get messages across and communicate better. And the fact that all you wonderful people are here in this room is a terrific testament to that. I brought up the thing about the Beatles because I'm a big Beatles fan, and in one of their last albums, they have a line in a song that says, "The love you make." Wait, how's it go? All right. If this was halftime in a game, I'd be all over it. But right now, I need some more Toastmasters, Dave. Help me out. Yeah. What is it? What is it? The love you make is equal to the love you take. Right? Is that right?
Sounds good.
Is that it, Danny?
Yes.
Okay. And it's just like it's a great rhyme, but you think about it, and it's another example of what Mom always said. Unfortunately, Mom being right, which is if what you give out, is what you get back, even if you don't understand the situation, and you don't understand how things are breaking down, if things seem negative to you at the time, you may not know everything, and you've got to try to be more understanding. And I've tried to be that way, and the fact that I have all of you great men and women here, and boys and girls, and whatever you want to classify yourself as other than that, it's really just a testament. It's just an absolute testament to that, and you guys make me look terrific, and that is a tremendous testimony on its own. So thank you all for being here, and do I have to say anything else?
And cheers.
And cheers.
Cheers.
or go to the bathroom, or just be Nemeth.
And after things wind down here a little bit, we might hop to other bars along Canterbury Road.
Yeah, anybody that's up for it, we're going to leave here and explore Monterey, and as many of you want to come, we would love to have you on board.
I'll call Vince. Yeah, awesome.
These ones. I think that means we need to go home and get some sleep.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is, but I had to hold it together tonight.
Hey, Vince, it's Mark for downtown Canterbury Road. Just give me a call back.
Somebody said to me that it's when you really kind of open up your heart to somebody that gets open to a lot of other things that
Thanks and appreciation.
we have a really excellent friend.
And so many of them only within very recently. Way back here. But very recent. Thank you. We enjoyed it. I love the pizza. Love the hamburger. Love the pizza. Everybody brings here a meal.
Right.
And the blonde ale.
Oh, wonderful.
I think it's about 5 to go.
So I'll see you Saturday.
Wow, so
Well, we planned it that way.
Joey's strategy.
I think we're going to go out. I don't know what's going to happen tonight.